YouTube, it's your boy Alex. What is going on? So, don't mind the roughness. I don't really care. I'm at work and at home. So, I want to take a minute and I want to talk about what I heard at church. So, it was this week. Nope, it was last week. When I was sitting in church, the topic was built different. I was listening to it and I got my own interpretation that I interpreted for me that I am built different than everybody else, which we all are built different than each individual. So, with that being said, after doing my own personal soul searching, talking to God, going through my stuff. I mean, I'm not saying that all of it's gone, but hey, still going through, still searching, still talking. Let's put it that way. So, and we'll put it as one of God's followers. Yeah, we'll go with that one. Of course, I'm trying to walk with Christ and better myself with understanding everything. And as I said previously, it's taken 34 years to get there, but better late than never. Just really, talking with it myself, talking to God, and again, like I said, one of followers. That topic of built different can be taken so many ways, and because I have it in my head right now, I want to express it. So, for me personally, I realize that I am built different because I'm a go-getter. I hustle, nothing illegal. I hustle to make my money, have 2, 3 jobs. I'll do what I need to do to make sure I'm okay and I make sure my loved ones are okay. And that's how I am. Not a lot of people have that hustle in them to do all that. And no fault of theirs. I mean, to each his own, everybody's different. So with that being said, I had a eye opener today that yes, I may be built different, but other people are built different as well. Now, we as people, we judge and we come up with our own assumption on things and we run with it. I have been at fault for that. I run with it. I sit and I get angry and sad and I should not do that because, like I said, with everything that I've been going through personally, that's not the case always. Like, I've been told this in the past, and the people that have said it to me, I will give you the 100%. I didn't listen. Y'all were right. I'll give it to you. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I do overthink a lot of things. And it could be the devil playing tricks in my head. It could be a whole lot of things, but I do overthink. And I've overthought some things lately and kind of valid. But at the same time, I overthought it because I didn't get a better understanding. I'm a direct person. You got to be direct with me. I don't read minds. I don't do guessing games. That's too much work for me. So I overthink and overanalyze and just go over and over and over in my head until I go crazy. it's a horrible trait. So anybody that does it, you know what I'm talking about. Um, and I've never said things that I regret. I always think before I speak because I don't want to have that feeling of, yo, I just said something, I regret it. Um, I guess the better point I'm trying to say is everybody's built different. They act different. They say things differently than how you're normally used to hearing things. So, like I said, I'm a direct person. If you straightforward with me, I get it. If you beat around the bush, I don't get it. Straight up, that's who I am. So, I had to really sit down and think. Certain things have been said and I heard around the bush instead of the direct way it was said. I'm at fault for that. But I also had to think wow, that the sermon I heard, we are all built different. We all have different emotions, reactions, explanations. And I always took it as, I think I took it as originally built different, I'm a different breed. But that wasn't the case. It was, we all do things in a different type of way, but it means the same thing. So, as I said, I'm sitting here and I wanted to get it out because I'm just there are so many things I could have done different. I could have said things, let me rephrase that. Because again, I try not to say things that I'm going to regret. I could have interpreted things different and handled things different. I'll give examples. One of my friends back a couple years ago sent me a smart ass message. And I was like, dude, I don't like that. What are you trying to say? And instead of him calling me and saying something, having a conversation, he just kept on. And I just stopped talking. Fast forward several years later, the conversation was actually had eventually, and it was pretty much his sarcasm taken the wrong way, my dislike for not having a conversation with me and being a sarcastic person, and I understood it differently. It was a miscommunication. Okay, so now we do better we talked. He got an issue, he hits me up. I got an issue, I hit him up. Because we've established yo, dude, both you and I are direct, and we will take things indirectly when we do things in this manner. So it's the weirdest thing. Like I said, I had my moments and sitting down and thinking, and I'm like, you know what? The things that I'm hurting over, God didn't do it to hurt me. God did it because he needed me to see I'm built different. I'm built in a way where I overanalyze and I think too much into things, and I don't think enough of what he's trying to tell me. So, again, this just hit me. I really, I guess I don't necessarily want to say I was wrong, because feelings are feelings, and at the moment you say whatever. Again, I try to choose my words wisely. I guess there's a lot of people out there that I think I need to reestablish that connection with, to have that conversation of understanding that, yes, I'm built differently, you're built differently, this was taken this way, this should have been this way, so we can get back on a better surface level. We'll go with that. I mean, it probably makes no sense in what I'm saying, but the moral of the story is that I said I was going to post when miracles and God said something to me. Now, everybody that questions God, I did it at one point myself, so I can own up to this. I said in my last video, if God can put something in my dreams or leave a note on my door, that'd be great. God doesn't have to answer you by in your dreams or leaving a note on your door. There could be certain things that people say that God makes you listen to specifically that statement. And he's telling you something. And like I said, it hit me today that there's a lot of things that I need to really reevaluate and rebuild on. Because by rebuilding that built differently, it's better understood. So there's more that I'm trying to say and I'm trying to get out, but the moral of the story is you may be personally built different. There's no two people that are alike, even twins, different. But when you build as a team, you build a structure. There's different ways, there's different talents, there's different ideas. But at the end of it, the structure will be solid. And again, there's some folks out there that probably heard the same sermon but heard something different. All good. Again, built differently. Understand things differently. Listen, I don't really know who needed to hear that. Or maybe I just need to say it. Because I'm hearing him. I'm hearing what he's saying to me. Again, it didn't have to be a note on my door. It didn't have to be Jesus or God knocking on my door. It's just sometimes you hear something and God triggers you to hear that. And there's a lot of things that he's been saying to me that I didn't want to hear, or I didn't pay attention. But of course, different mind space. And like I said, I'm doing a little more soul searching, understanding of God's purpose for me. And I'm not gonna sit here and say I have all the answers because I don't. Again, I'm still searching, still understanding. But there's a lot of things that, like I said, that I need to reevaluate and rebuild on. I need to listen more and take my time. As so we're gonna do this as a quick note because I gotta go back to work. As kids. So when you're a kid, you think, you see your parents and you're like, oh, they've been married for this long or they're together for this long, X, Y, and Z. And that's going to be me when I turn their age at 29, at 30. And that's what you start setting your mind to, is that's where I'm going to be 29, 30. In my head, I knew my mom had me at 30. So I was like, oh, when I'm 30, I'm going to be married. I'm going to have a family, whether it be kids, no kids, or dog. I do have the dog. But that's the mindset I had. And I kept pushing. I kept going with that mindset because that's what I thought life was supposed to be. Was supposed to be 30 and I'm supposed to be married. It's not always the case. But that's how I was trained to think. Instead of sitting down asking God, what is your plan for me? How do you want me to think? Yes, God does give us free will. He does. And this is how people make mistakes and they learn from their mistakes and lessons and X, Y, and Z. Again, the reason why I say I am built differently is because I thought one way instead of looking another way and understanding how I am built. I didn't take the time to understand how other people are built. Yes, I would get to know somebody. I'd get to know people and make my assumption on whether or not, yeah, we cool. Nah, we not cool. But I didn't pay attention to the build. The built, yeah. I just want YouTube fam, if you want to share this, feel free. I just want to tell folks, like, pay attention. And if there's things that need to be discussed, just like you're built from the bottom up, you start with one way and then you work your way up to different ways. There might be things that you need to sit down and actually have a conversation with anything bothering you. Why is it bothering me? What's the ground reason I got to this situation? What's the middle reason I got to this situation? Go through the layers of how you're built to figure out the top. I'm doing that right now, and that's why I am posting this information, because again, it hit me. Again, I'm built different. So what I think is going on is because I overanalyze and I overthink. And I think some people are going to fall out their chair when I say this. I did not get it when I was told sometimes you think negatively. I did not get it. I got it. It's not that I was fully thinking negatively. I overthought. I'm so used to the negative that I overthought to make it negative. So the ones that have told me that, you got it. You can say, you can look me in my face when you see me. Yo, I told you that. bet. But I, again, had to realize everything. And this all comes back to full circle of a lot of things probably happen for me to refine God. All right, fam. So after you see this, you're going to be like, it stopped. My phone died. And I said a lot. And I'm not going to reestablish what I said because that came straight from my head, my heart. It's not written out. And yeah, I'm not doing all that. But when I left off, I said something about thinking negatively because I'm so used to that being the case. And I didn't really understand originally when people have said it to me. I didn't get that because I'm just like, I'm thinking positive. Like if I'm thinking negative, I'd be doing negative. Some people think of positive and negative as, okay, I'm doing positive because I don't do drugs. I went to school. I graduated with a degree. I've never been to jail. Like that. They're thinking that's that positive. The negative aspect, they're like, okay, so again, positively, I didn't go to jail. Negative is, okay, yeah, I went to jail, so what? Um, like downplaying or whatever. But that's not always the case. Thinking negatively is pushing everything on the bad side of things. Oh, this is the case over here. All right, I'll give you a prime example. Married couples. Oh, he hasn't talked to me in a week because he's sleeping with somebody else. Are you sure? Maybe he's having a bad day, bad week. Maybe work stressed him out so bad, and then he come home and all you hear is, "Oh, well, you need to go talk to your son, or you need to go talk to your daughter, or they got an F in school." Like, it's like, wow, I left negative to come home to negative because I can never even get a praise. Like, hey, it's good to see you. I thought about you today. Something like that. That's just an example. I've never been married, so I don't really know the married life, but this is what I've heard. On like the thinking negative aspect. This video probably went a little bit longer than I anticipated it to. But like I said, there's things that you will hear through the followers of Christ. You'll hear a random stranger on the street say it. And you heard it. And when you get home and you sit down and you're just, that same statement will place in your head and you're like, okay, somebody's trying to tell me something. Because I remember this statement. Now, a lot of this is me saying, it's technically two things I've heard. That, and it's playing heavy on me. And I wanted to publicly put it out there that for the ones that I did not fully realize built differently on the way that things they do compared to what I do, two different things. I didn't pay attention to the built. I paid attention to the ways, but not the built. How did this person Or how did that person, or how did this group of folks get to this way? How were they built to have this mindset, or this action, or this behavior, or something along those lines? You know what I'm saying? So I will publicly say I apologize. Publicly own that. And I publicly will say that I will continue to listen to what the man upstairs is telling me and use that as I wake up and take a step every morning. Use that before I go to sleep. Use that before I come to any conclusion. Use that in general. Because God's answering. And again, I'm learning. There's answers all around. You just have to pay attention. Take that ground surface and start looking on how you're built. How did you get to the first level? First level, how'd you get to talk? Your parents taught you. Second level, how'd you get to walk? Your parents stood on the other side of the room and said, come on, you'll figure it out. How did you get to the third level? Going to school. You probably cried on that school bus. Your parents told you to suck it up. The fourth level, fifth level. Like, how did you get to these stages in life? I can admit that the things that I thought, and the reason why I'm so direct, or I want people to be direct to me, is because when I assume things, I make an ass out of you and me. So I always wanted people to be direct with me, because I will assume things if you're not direct. That's number one. The reason why I think things are going to go for the worse is because that's what I'm used to seeing. So instead of giving people the opportunity, I already just think the worst. I have to see how I'm built. And I'm learning this every single day. I'll be real with y'all. I never in a million years thought church would make sense. Never. Now, the Bible is a different story. I don't really understand the thous and the they. I didn't even understand the scripture in English class with Romeo and Juliet. I didn't understand that. So, but when you start hearing the English direct version, things start to come into perspective that God has pretty much planned out a lot of things, and we're all just repeating the mistake in order to get to the good. If we just got to the good by paying attention to what he's saying, everything would be good. Another example popped in my head. They stoned Jesus. They spit on him because he was different and he was doing something good. Look at the world we live in right now. They're not stoning people. They're killing people because they're different. Because they're saying something positive. They're doing something positive. This was a while ago. He's picking up litter in front of his college location. And the police stopped him and held him, pretty much hostage because they didn't believe he went to school there because he looked different. But he was doing something positive. Yeah, I guess history is repeating itself, and I probably should have paid attention in history class. I probably know more if I paid attention, but I didn't. I'm going way off track. Like I said, I want to say this to the little followers that I have. I don't need 5 million, 6 million followers. This is the life of a trans man. You got questions on things, on where to begin or how your process is going. Yeah, I'm going to put it up there. But I'm also going to put up there the positive on, I didn't wake up one morning and say I'm trans. God had my whole life planned out for me before I even got here. So me being born a female, he knew that I should have been born a female for the fact that I was going to grow up to be a man, to spread his word, to stand up for the ones that can't do it for themselves, to prove a point that, hey, listen, just because you're different doesn't make you an alien. Everybody does things their own way. But YouTube fam, I'm going to get off of here and get back to work. But like I said, for the folks that told me, I think too negatively, you're right. I did. But thank you for telling me that. Because when it was said to me, that's all I heard. And I didn't further look into that. And now that I hear it, I'm looking into it on my built. So, on that note, YouTube fam, going back to work. Oh, we're going to do a quick show just to let you know. Granted, we still on quarantine. But for real, your boy's been, getting these weights in and trying to get all beautiful again. Let me stop playing. Nah, that's not true. Back on the testosterone though, for real, fam. If you are on testosterone and your gym is open, go to the gym. Even if it means going up the stairs for 20 minutes, walking on a treadmill for 30, go to the gym, because sitting in the house on T, doing nothing, you're going to sit there and blow up. It's going to be so much harder to get off. So, I know I just jumped from my holy experience to my trans life, but this is also a trans channel, and I need trans folks to know that you need to go ahead and keep yourself as healthy as possible. If your gym is not open, go outside, get some sun, go for a walk for 20 minutes, jump rope for like 10 minutes a day, but just keep, your heart rate up, metabolism up, and just be careful on the fast food. I'm still at fault for that. I still eat some fast food. I don't eat as much, but like I said, just, be very conscious of a lot of the things you're eating. Once I figure out a proper diet, I'll let everybody know, but I don't have one right now. So, YouTube folks, I'm out, and talk to the man upstairs. He hears you.